I need to hit 100 platinums by the end of the year, and if I fail, we'll have to delete my PlayStation account forever, losing all of my saves, memories, and of course, the 74 platinum trophies I already own. And the next game up is from the most requested series to date on this channel, Resident Evil 4. This remake to the 2005 classic and arguably the greatest game in the Resident Evil franchise is also my personal favorite. So when I decided to take this series head on, RE4 was a no-brainer and seemed like a quick platinum, only having 40 trophies. Sadly, I had no idea what I was in for, as I would have to complete the game 5 times while also having to meet certain conditions on each run, like getting an S+ rank twice, beating it without healing, beating it without upgrading weapons, beating it in under 5 hours, and a whole lot more. And while all that was already tough on its own, of course I had to do most of it on the hardest difficulties the game had to offer, hardcore and professional. This would cause me to experience new levels of rage I didn't think possible, and make a mistake so disastrous I might have gave up on this trophy hunt altogether. The story begins with a flashback of Leon's journey to this point after surviving the events of Resident Evil 2, as he's now working with the government to rescue the president's daughter who had recently gone missing. We then flash forward to the present day where Leon is being driven to the middle of nowhere by 2 police officers who tell him a lot of people have gone missing here recently, before stopping the car after one of the officers had to go take a piss. And if you watched any horror movie ever, you probably already know how that went. We then got out of the car and went to go find him before spotting a house, eventually running into a local, but not everything was as what it seemed. Oh shit. Oh my god, Leon! After that, we grabbed the key and moved on to the basement where we finally found the officer's corpse before getting attacked by the same guy we just killed minutes earlier. Leon at this point could tell something was up, so we pressed on until finding a village where we witnessed the other officer getting absolutely cooked. Literally. And from here, it was all about survival as I had to take on what felt like 100 infected villagers, and oh yeah, this guy. Bro, I'm not gonna have enough ammo for this. Hey, shotgun.
Oh, nice.
No, I need to kill him because I think he dropped something if I do. Shit.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
There it is. He said the thing. Barely surviving that madness, we pushed on through some more until running into a small farm area where I would do the first of many strangers missions. More on that later. Before finding the first of 16 clockwork Castellians, unlocking the trophy Revolt Against the Revolting. Then a bit later, we found another house where after taking out the infected here and going down to the basement below, the unexpected happened. Oh yeah.
Seemed like you really wanted to talk.
Joder, not this guy.
Who are you?
Oh!
Okay, stop right there.
Oh, I forgot all this. It's been so long since I played the original game.
Oh, what the f?
Hey, stop it. I'm Luis Serra. Guess you, me, picked the wrong spot to vacation, eh? I guess. You're here looking for someone? Maybe. Some missing señorita?
Young girl. Talk.
Heard chatter about moving, señorita. Saw some men dragging someone to the old church. Hanging with you, not healthy.
Oh, there we go. Hey, there's the key. It's like they wanted us to get out.
Hey, we're not done here.
Later, amigo.
Now armed with no weapons, we had to go looking for them along the way, finding a knife and getting our second trophy here for parrying an enemy. After this, we found our stash and were then introduced to the stranger I mentioned earlier, where we got 2 more trophies back to back, one for upgrading our pistol and the other for completing our first stranger's mission. We pushed on some more and eventually found a key we needed to progress until running into our old friend again, Torres Mendez. Oh!
Blood has accepted the gift.
Ada? Yep, you are infected, good sir. Leon now had to make his way to the church where we'd hoped to find the president's daughter, Ashley. But first, we took a second to save this wolf who had gotten stuck in a bear trap. And this would prove to be extremely helpful in the long run. Eventually, after some backtracking, we found the church and of course, it was locked. So we made our way towards the lake where I would get another trophy here for killing 3 enemies with a flash grenade. Hey, shield your eyes, let's go, baby! Later spotting something gigantic in the lake below that of course would foreshadow a tough boss fight we had coming up. But first, we had to find some gasoline for the boat we needed to take to get out there. So we pushed on through to the next open area, grabbed the boat fuel, made our way back to the boat, and just as predicted, got into our next major boss fight against Del Lago. Oh no, dude. What am I even gonna... Oh. Harpoons? Oh, come on, get out of the water! What am I supposed to do here? Oh, just hit him. There we go. Is that it? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, maybe it is. After waking up, we explored the rest of this gigantic lake area where we would grab our next weapon needed for a trophy later before finding the 2 demonic heads we needed to finally get our church insignia. From there, we headed back and quickly got into our next major boss fight of the game, but thankfully this time we had a little help. Here we go. Let's go, baby! Knife attack! There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Good boy.
Here we go. Please be it. Yes! Done. Then finally, after our long trek back, we unlocked the church door, solved the quick puzzle, and headed upstairs where we would finally find Ashley until the whole place got surrounded by infected. We made our way out through the window and backtracked to the main village once more, taking out a ton of infected along the way, including a wolf mini boss for one of our strangers' requests. God damn this thing. There we go. Holy shit, bro. Along with grabbing every treasure and clockwork crystallion on the map, as this was the last chance to do so or another trophy later. While doing this, Ashley would eventually get captured by one of the villagers here, who after shooting him in the back and saving her, we got yet another trophy. Later, we would run into Luis again after fleeing from a ton of villagers and once again had to survive. Oh, bro, help me out here. What are you doing? Oh, I think that's it. God damn, this was stressful, bro. Can you imagine that on the hardest difficulty? Holy shit. Ooh. From there, we would learn that Ashley was also infected and so was Luis until finding a cure that he would share with us later. We then found out Luis had been working with Ada this whole time, as it's unclear now more than ever what his real intentions are. We then started making our way to the castle, clearing out more infected and finding every treasure until running into Mendez yet again, who would chase us down into a nearby shack where we would take him on once and for all in our next major boss fight with another trophy on the line. Can't be that easy. Oh, this is gross.
Want to get ugly? Let's get ugly.
God damn it, the cheesy one-liners, Leon, fucking A, bro. Ugh. Oh my god, dude, this is fucking gross. Oh shit. There we go. Is that it? Let's go, baby. Woo! With Mendez finally eliminated, we finished off the last of this village area and finally grabbed our last treasure, unlocking the trophy for finding every single one in this first section of the game. Hey, bandit! And once at the castle, it didn't take long before I got another trophy, this time for shooting the new Zelia type enemy with a cannonball. Then once inside, we were quickly introduced to the very annoying Ramon Salazar. We cleared out the entire room, going to the prison cells down below afterwards, where we would face our first Garador, a scary new enemy with Wolverine-like claws that we would need to take down with just a knife in order to get our next trophy. But lucky for us, this monster was completely blind. So after sneaking around for a while and attacking his back whenever opportunities arose, I finally got it. There we go. Never heard it coming, baby. Woo! With that done, we started making our way through every room in this castle until getting outside, where the Las Plagas disease would start taking its hold on Ashley, causing her to almost harm Leon and then herself before getting separated. We now had to go find her yet again, continuing on some more until finding my future wife, Ada Wong.
Well, after 6 years, that is one hell of a greeting.
You don't seem surprised. Interesting.
Damn.
Try using knives next time. Better for close encounters.
Not a bad move. Very smooth.
So who are you working for this time?
Oh, Leon. You know I don't work in town. Leave the girl. She's lost no matter what. You walk away now. And who knows? Maybe you'll live to meet me again. And then
I
might
love
get you the
that.
greeting you were looking
I would
for.
love that. We would continue making our way through this outside area, blasting this guy in the face along the way before reuniting with Ashley once again, who was back to her normal self. And now had to go find Luis and make our way through the rest of this garden outside by turning on all the switches to open the nearby gate before finding the stranger again and a little train cart we would use to go back to the starting area of the castle. Here I would find even more treasures, including the elegant crown, which came in really handy. And that's because after slotting in enough diamonds, it was now worth over 100,000 pesetas, just the amount we needed for our next trophy, Astute Appraiser. Following that, we hit another roadblock where we had to find 3 animal heads in 3 different rooms by taking down more enemies and solving a few more puzzles. Later placing those heads in this statue where we would once again get separated from Ashley, and what to me was the scariest part in the whole game, as you're basically defenseless with her. God damn it, this is scary as shit, bro. Fucking A, why do I have to use her? Oh my god! Oh shit. Ugh. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Ugh. Yeah, nope. I'm guessing the elevator, I don't even know. Get me the f out of here, please. Oh my god, that was terrible, dude. Okay, let him swing. No, don't let him swing. God damn it. There we go. Ooh.
Hey, try this.
Ashley!
Oh my god. Now finally back in control of Leon, we had to find Ashley yet again. So we continued pushing on through this massive castle, taking out loads more of infected and now massive bugs until finding her and Ramon Salazar. Oh.
Aquí nos despedimos, señor Kennedy.
Ooh. From here, we started making our way back up as Leon's symptoms got worse and worse, eventually running into the next boss of the game and probably the scariest yet, the Vertigo. Now, while in this fight, you have to wait for the elevator to come down before you're able to escape, meaning you don't have to technically kill him to progress the story, but of course, there's another trophy here if you do so. With that in mind, my butthole clenched, and my newly upgraded hand cannon from the Mercenaries mode, I strapped in and took this monster head on, and within a few shots, game ended him.
Finally, some
Oh my god, dude. With our next trophy in hand, we got on the elevator as Leon started losing control.
Pitiful little lamb.
Your suffering can end, just as it has Frauenheimer's daughter.
Who has joined us in communion, and now she is of our flesh. Go now. Deliver to these vagrant children their salvation. As you wish.
Together with Luis now, we had to make our way through the mines here, taking out even more infected until finding some dynamite to clear the path ahead. And after doing that, got into our next major boss fight against 2 giants, but thanks to Luis's help, made quick work of them. All right, that's one down.
Leon! Over here!
Oh, I had to bring him that way. Now this wouldn't be a true video game if there wasn't some kind of mine cart for you to ride through the mines down here, with the trophy actually tied to it. But here's the kicker. In order to get the trophy, you have to make it through both mine cart sections without taking any damage. And this was probably one of the hardest trophies I went for yet at this point. Okay, I think that was a good first run. Now we just have to not get damaged on the second one. Brother. Oh no. Oh. Dude, it wouldn't even let me pull out my gun. Come on, why is this so broken, dude? I don't know if I got it. Come on. Fingers crossed. Come on, please. Yes! Hope you like thrill rides. I got it. Once off the minecart, we continued making our way up, getting rid of Salazar's insect problem until finding another elevator to take up, where once getting off, I got completely caught off guard.
You know it means we're almost...
Almost what?
No! I forgot he died, bro.
Luis!
Oh, shit.
Long time no see, rookie.
It was now time for our epic knife fight with Krauser, and after some perfect parries, dodges, and getting some good hits in, Luis saves the day with Krauser making his escape after. Sadly though, Luis passes away, but not before giving us the key to his lab for later. From there, we made our way to the nearby clock tower, where we had to take out more enemies while evading numerous traps along the way, until reaching another lift and our next opportunity for a trophy. Here, I had to get all the way to the top without letting any enemies hop on, and this one was even harder and more rage-inducing than the minecart section earlier. No, motherfucker, dude. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, this is so fucking annoying. Oh my goodness, bro. What the f? Let's go, dude. Oh my god, that took forever. With that trophy finally done, we got another just a few short minutes later for finding the last treasure in this castle section of the game, before reaching Salazar, where we would get 2 more trophies after shutting his mouth for good. There we go. You talk too much. Got it. All right, now we got to beat him. Is that it? Oh my god, this hand cannon's insane, bro. And just like that, we were now on the last stretch of the game. We took a boat to the island after getting the keys from my future wife and headed straight for the stranger, where I fully upgraded my Red 9, unlocking the trophy masterpiece. From there, we made our way through the island until getting outside, where we would find the room Ashley's being kept in, and the only way inside was with a level 3 key card. So we pressed on, eventually locating it before running into the next new enemy type, and probably the freakiest one yet. What is this, bro? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Oh my god, what am I stuck on? Just die! Oh my god, dude. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. With the keycard in hand, we upgraded it to level 3 while fighting a few more of those things and grabbed a new gun along the way for the Gun Fanatic trophy we need later, before reuniting with Ashley yet again. Ooh, that's not good. There we go. Oh no. It's not a permanent cure.
Leon?
Sorry I'm late. Come on. We don't have much time. Let's get rid of these things.
For Luis.
We continue making our way through this island until reaching another regenerator and finally getting the trophy I had been going for since first being introduced to this new enemy type for taking out 2 parasites with 1 sniper shot using this fancy scope. Before you guessed it, Ashley gets kidnapped yet again. Shortly after this, we would go through a modified and booby-trapped area set up by Jack Krauser and packed to the brim with bear traps and turrets, all while he would take pot shots at us every chance he could get until we finally reached the end for our long-awaited rematch. How are you not dead yet? Oh man, what have you done to yourself?
That's the difference between you and me, Boogie.
With Krauser in this new monstrous form, he continued hunting us as we had to once again navigate a few more booby-trapped areas until picking the fight back up for the last time with our next trophy up for grabs. That's all you got? Now with Krauser down, we pushed on and finally got some damn help for once thanks to this helicopter mowing down a ton of infected, but sadly and predictably, it was short-lived after Sadler became the fun police and shot him down. After that, I grabbed the very last stranger's mission that ended the same way it started, shooting down some blue medallions, and once finished with that, I immediately turned it in and we got the trophy Jack of all trades. Later, we cleared out the few remaining enemies left in the game until finding Ashley for the last time.
Oh, blessings unto him and the sweet mercy they bring. Exalt all and let it be done.
What the? Oh!
Laboratory B. Looks like it's this way.
Hey, there we go. Oh, shit.
Ashley. Ashley.
I'm right here. I thought you were gonna die.
You did this.
Yeah. Yeah, I did this.
With Ashley and Leon both now cured of the virus, there was only one thing left to do: take out Sadler and get the hell off this island. But first, we had to get the last few treasures here for our next trophy, Burglar. It was now time for the final boss fight of the game, with Ada's life and our last story trophy hanging in the balance. There you go. Oh, that's gnarly. Did we get him? Is that it? Ooh. Okay, guess not. All right, phase 2 it is.
Use this!
That'll work.
I'll give you a holy body.
Cheesy one-liners until the end, man. We now just had 2.5 minutes to get off the island with 2 more trophies left to grab here. The first was Revolution Windup for shooting all 16 Clockwork Castellians, and the second was for making it off the island in time without taking any damage. And just like the minecart section earlier in the video, this would once again be a major pain. Oh my god. We're good, we're good. Not good. God damn it. All right, we're still good. We're still good. No, we're not. Fucking god damn it. Where am I supposed to go? Gotta get to the right. Right here. Okay, we're still good on health. This is it. This is it. Let's go. Smooth escape, baby. Woo! Oh my god, what a pain in the ass that was. Don't ever ask me to platinum racing games. I won't do it. With the story finished for the first time, all we were able to unlock was the trophy Promised Agent for completing the game on standard. With that run taking me over 20 hours and getting a measly score of B, there wasn't a lot of high hopes that I could actually get this platinum done. I mean, how in the hell was I gonna beat this game on hardcore in under 5.5 hours? Still, I was determined to see this through to the end. But first, I reloaded an old chapter save and took on the shooting range as we had 3 trophies to unlock for it. Here, we would have to take on a series of challenges using every weapon in the game and would have to get the high score in every single one. The first trophy came easy as all I had to do was simply complete a game at the shooting range. But the next 2 would be a lot tougher. For one, we had to break 5 targets with a single shot, and this could only be done in one specific challenge where the window to get the shot off would be super tight. Hey, trick shot, let's go. Next, we had to S rank every challenge in the shooting range, which meant hitting every target with little to no mistakes and reaching the bonus round in every single one in order to achieve the highest score. And after thinking my aim was good enough to take this on, I had no idea what I was in for. There we go. Hopefully that was an S. God damn it. Oh man, I was just like 250 short. That has to be it. Let's go, baby. Another S rank done. Oh, I f***ed up right there. There we go. S, please. Yeah, let's go, baby. Damn it. Oh, I got an S rank without even going to the bonus round on that?
I'm speechless.
I'm fucking me too, bro. What? Bro, what is this shit? Brother, what is going on? I'm clearly not aiming at that guy's head. Oh my god, dude. If I would have hit that dynamite, I might have had it. We get it? Oh my god, dude. 400 and something short. Give it to me. Come on. Real Deadeye, baby, done. Yes. It was now time for our first replay, but I had to make a few preparations. And that's because on this run, I would be going for 4 trophies at the same time. The first would be to beat the game using only knives and pistols for the trophy Minimalist, while not using the Stranger a single time for the trophy Silent Stranger, on top of not healing at any point for the trophy Frugalist, and finally beating the story in under 8 hours for the trophy Sprinter. First thing I did here was buy the primal knife I unlocked after the first run, which when fully upgraded would make it completely unbreakable. And that's exactly what I did next when I loaded up my chapter 16 save. I followed that up by buying a ton of small resource pouches that I could use to craft pistol ammo, as again I would not be able to use the Stranger at all here. From there, I wrapped up chapter 16 all over again and booted up New Game Plus for run number 2 on the easiest difficulty, as this would give me the best chance at getting the Frugalist trophy for not healing. And according to the trophy guide I was following, we would need to be at over 70% health by the time we got to the first Krauser fight in order to stand a chance at getting this trophy. Sadly, I wasted no time am being a complete moron, literally taking damage from the first enemy in the game. At this point, I should have restarted the checkpoint to get my health back, but instead I pushed on thinking nothing of it, until a little later in the playthrough when I took damage yet again. This was another moment in hindsight where I should have restarted the checkpoint, but I pushed on some more because besides taking the damage that we did, the rest of the run was actually going great, and we were on pace to finish the story in under 8 hours easy. I also hadn't voided the run out by accidentally shooting a different gun or using the stranger, so I was really confident here. It wasn't until getting hit a few more times that this confidence slowly started to waver. I fucking can't, bro. I don't think we're gonna be able to do no hills on this. I eventually reached the point of no return after the last hit, and it's here I had to make the heart-wrenching decision to heal and completely void out the Frugalist trophy. I wanted to do it, but I can't, man. We're gonna have to try to do it on another run. Now you're probably wondering, Rapid, why didn't you just reload checkpoints to negate the damage altogether every time you got hit? Well, that's because there's actually a reason for it. You see, if you reload checkpoints, you still eat up all that time you used before resetting it. And at this point, you're probably screaming at me through your monitor, TV, or phone screen because yeah, I know, I'm an idiot. I didn't realize that you can completely bypass that penalty by simply exiting to the main menu and loading up the last save. Something I would of course keep in mind for future runs, but I would be lying to you if I said this would be the dumbest mistake I make in this video, and you'll see why very soon. Continuing on with the rest of the run, it was pretty straightforward. I thought at a few points I would have an issue with pistol ammo, but some would always turn up moments later, thanks to the game's smart loot system. Even the boss fights weren't too bad, thanks to my fully upgraded Blacktail pistol, which did the most DPS out of any pistol in the game. And after just 5 hours and 7 minutes, we wrapped up playthrough number 2 and grabbed our next 3 trophies. Sprinter, that's 1. Minimalist, that's 2. And Silent Stranger, never using the merchant, 3. Let's go, baby, 60%. For run number 3, we now had to beat the game on professional, and doing this would get our next 3 trophies in the game. Peerless Agent for beating the main story on professional, Proficient Agent for beating the main story at hardcore or higher, and finally Gun Fanatic for obtaining every weapon. Now for this run, we didn't have to worry about time, and even though this was the hardest difficulty, it was made a lot easier as I did it on a new game plus with a rocket launcher that had infinite ammo. So yeah, this quickly became my favorite run of them all. After blowing up absolutely everything and flying through bosses in seconds. No way, that's it. We got our next 3 trophies. Hey, Gun Fanatic! Boom, Proficient Agent. Peerless Agent, complete the main story on professional mode. Got it, baby, let's go. Now for the following 2 trophies and the hardest in the entire game, we had to get an S+ rank on standard by finishing it under 5 hours, and hardcore by finishing that under 5.5 hours. With the catch being they both had to be done on fresh playthroughs and not new game plus. And on top of that, for whatever reason, these 2 trophies did not stack, but they did stack if I were to get an S+ on professional difficulty. Seeing as how this platinum run was so easy for me up to this point, I took on this ultimate challenge and made a disastrous mistake. Bro, come the f on, dude! 5 hand cannon shots and you didn't... What? Bro, grab the fucking dynamite, Leon! Jesus Christ! I love when my inputs don't fucking work, bro. Open this thing, come on. Oh, 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 whoa, no, no, no! I gotta start all over again! No, 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 no! Not at the end! Oh my God! All right, we got it, we got it, we got it. Don't hit anything. You're almost there. Come on, give me that. 2 trophies, back to back.
Just impeccable.
They said all you have to do for S+ is beat the game under 5.5 hours. The website I was reading this entire time said finish the game in under 5.5 hours for a S+ rank. Not on New Game Plus. I did all that. Come to find out, you cannot have more than 15 saves. I just did that entire run for absolutely nothing. I'm done. I'm not platinuming this game. I refuse. 2 days later, after some heavy reflection on my life choices and crying myself to sleep both nights, I picked up the controller and continued this trophy hunt once more, quickly flying through our hardcore difficulty run that same day and getting our next trophy. Yes! We did it, Bubba! We did it! We were now just 3 trophies away from platinum, and all I had to do was get an S+ rank on standard difficulty without healing at any point. And this run, even with checkpoint scumming, would still be rage-inducing in its own way, as I was just so impatient at this point and ready to be done with this game. But since this was the only thing separating me from platinum, I had to get it done. Oh my god, you just camping the ladder, bro? You're camping the fucking ladder? What was that? And then now you want to do the ceiling shit. I don't get what you're doing. Oh no, fucking A, dude, what is that shit? Like right at the end, it's almost 3 in the fucking morning. I want to finish it so I can keep it on the same recording, dude. No way, that was it. Okay, moment of truth. S+, we got it. Frugalist and mission accomplished S+, which means, ladies and gentlemen, platinum, baby. Let's go, dude. I love the Resident Evil franchise, so it was so awesome getting to platinum this game and relive it all over again. And I'm kind of thinking, you know what? Maybe we should do more. If this video gets enough likes and subs, we'll take on every game in the franchise, from Resident Evil 0 all the way to Resident Evil Village and all the bonus games in between, like Revelations 1 and 2, you name it. Anything that has a platinum trophy, or maybe not even that, any game we could 100%, we'll do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe and leave a like for more. Don't forget to comment down below which game you want to see me platinum next, and be sure to follow me on Twitter to stay in the loop between uploads. I'll catch you all on the next video.